From edible skyscrapers to dazzling spotlights and pizza box projectors, let's check out the work of some ingenious designers who've thought about everything. Push pins or thumbtacks are a common office supply, and in sensible hands, they're pretty safe to use. But if you, like thousands of others, have ever accidentally stepped on one of these upturned pricks, then you'll know that a thumbtack mishap is no laughing matter. Luckily, in 2011, a Japanese inventor called Toshi Fukaya created biomimicry drawing pins, which eliminate the risk completely. Fukaya took inspiration from a cat's paw, specifically the way their claws are able to retract at will. So his thumbtack design involves a capsule with the sharp pin covered by malleable silicone on one side and solid silicone on the other. This means that the pin is only exposed once you push down on a surface, and when it's pulled out, it will take its former shape and resheath the pin. This also means that if they're accidentally dropped or swallowed, they're rendered harmless. That's right, no more surprise stabs. Ask any cyclist and they'll tell you that the worst part about owning a bike is punctures. Piercing the outer rubber case isn't really usually a problem, but piercing the inner tube of the wheel leads to no end of strife. But what if you created a tire without an inner tube and made the whole process airless? Well, that's exactly what Tannus have done with their airless tires. The unique design is a huge step up from the traditional tires and make them 100% puncture-proof. So riding over rough terrain or even nails and glass, like you can see here, won't interrupt your ride.
Whilst Tannus tires are made from a patented, slightly spongy, solid material, other tubeless tires have existed successfully for many years already. All you need are tubeless compatible wheels and tires. Basically, the wheel and tire will form an airtight seal without the need for an inner tube. But what happens when a piece of glass punctures the tire? Well, a sealant is added between the tire and the rim, so any punctures are quickly sealed by the highly pressurized air pushing the sealant through the hole, sealing it shut as the sealant dries in place. It's basically magic, which is why tubeless tires are so popular now. But this technology isn't even new. The first patent for it came in 1903, with the first commercially available tire system for a bicycle being sold in 1999.
Any alcoholic would weep with joy if they were handed this wine bottle, which has a cap in the shape of a wine glass. The Guzzle Buddy glass can be plugged into any bottle of wine, so you don't have to look like the wino you are whenever you take a swig. After all, if you're going to develop a substance problem, you might as well do it with some class. And just when I thought drinking a bottle of France's finest wine couldn't get any classier, this company has upped the ante by shaping the bottom of their bottles like roses. Gerard Bertrand was a top-level rugby player who gave up sports for vineyards by producing this delightful Côte de Roses wine in the Languedoc region of France. He wanted to celebrate the Mediterranean's art de vivre, or art of living, and he's doing a great job if you ask me. The genius designer who created the indented base, called a punt, was Meltine Corvusier. In 2010, she presented a bottle with the rose motif at the Veralia Design Awards and won the entire competition. Not only did she impress the judges, Gerard Bertrand also fell in love with the rose-bottomed base and adopted it as the signature look for his Côte de Roses. Now, you might think the design looks more like a cabbage, but I'm wearing my rose-tinted glasses, and I heartily disagree. In a similar fashion, Valais Mineral Water from Switzerland features a mini mountain in the bottom of the bottle that's an exact replica of the most famous mountain in the Valais region, the Matterhorn. The company doesn't want you to forget that you're buying the best water money can buy, straight from Switzerland's most famous peak, making this design a unique and memorable marketing ploy. This style of design isn't reserved for drinks, and it's all about style when it comes to this skyscraper pasta holder. Created by designer Alex Creamer in 2010, the box arranges the pasta into a perfect replica of the Chrysler Building in New York, including one single noodle for the spire at the top. Now that we've gotten to the bottom of those bottles and eaten a skyscraper of pasta, it's time for a trip to the John. We all know the pain of finishing up on the toilet and running out of toilet roll, but this ingenious design gives you an emergency reserve of TP by making use of the empty space in a standard roll. The to-go roll, as it's called, is perfect for when you need to, go on the go, ensuring you never run out of TP in a public restroom. One Redditor notes that this specific to-go roll is from a brand called HEB, and while the larger roll can get sloppy without the sturdiness of a cardboard tube, the slightly squishy shape is a fair trade-off for the extra paper you get. And when it's time to change the roll, this toilet roll holder from Japan will tempt even the laziest people to do the menial task. How satisfying is that? It's a common feature in ordinary houses and hotels there, and now I'm mad my local Walmart doesn't have one I can buy myself. In a moment, we'll check out some more insane designs from Japan. But first, let's finish our trip to the restroom and zip up. As any man will know, it's very important to be careful during the pant fastening process. Just remembering the scene in There's Something About Mary is enough to make me physically cringe. But these pants from New Zealand brand Huffer have your safety in mind, and they kindly remind you that you've only got one, so you might want to take extra good care of it. Damn, I feel sorry for the guy that inspired that very specific tagline. Now that our bladders have been emptied, let the drinking commence once again. This time, we're trying out Baijiu, a Chinese drink that roughly translates to clear liquor. Apparently, it's pretty strong stuff, and it's generally the booze of choice for everyone in China, from generals to janitors. The huge demand for China's national drink is catered to by thousands of factories, but one definitely stands out from the bunch because it's shaped like a bottle of Baijiu. Located in the Sichuan province, the bottle building is the manufacturing base for the Wuliangyi brand, and it can be seen for miles on a clear day. So the brand's building acts as a giant ad. More whimsical designs like this can be found in Asia, like this apartment building in Japan that boasts a fire escape slide. Simply hop on, slide down, and you're free from the towering inferno taking over your home. Just make sure the metal gate at the bottom has been opened first. A German company called Vigant actually makes these escape slides, and they've grown increasingly popular with schools and universities. Thinking about it, this is probably the easiest way to get a bunch of kids out of a building. It's faster than stairs, and hey, if disaster does happen, you might as well enjoy the ride.
We've heard you loud and clear. We had loads of emails from those who missed out on our insane 50% off plushie deal, so we've extended it for one extra week only. He's soft, cuddly, and irresistible. He's my real-life perfect copy. Everyone loves him, with loads of 5-star reviews backing up the quality. Whether he's sitting on your desk or chilling on your bed, he's the perfect companion. And remember, every plushie is designed by us, and every purchase helps support the channel and keeps the videos coming. This very last deal is until the 13th of June only. It'll never be this cheap again, so don't miss out. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description and grab your Bartholomew while this insane deal lasts.
We've all accidentally killed a plant at least once in our lives. Overwatering, underwatering, not enough light, too much heat. Sometimes these divas are impossible to keep alive. But wouldn't it be easier if a plant could just tell you what it needed? Well, now it can. The revolutionary pet plant from designer Junyi Hyo measures soil conditions, humidity, water, and temperature of the chosen plant, calculates it against the needs of said plant, and expresses it in the form of an adorable little LCD facial feature display. Even if you've overwatered, it automatically drains the excess. So no matter how badly you treat your plant, the smart pot will ensure it lives forever. Some of you might like your showers scalding hot, but in some cases, a super hot shower can be more than a nasty surprise. But now, there might be a way to help avoid sudden or unexpected temperature changes in the bathroom with this LED temperature sensing shower head. As you can see here, when the shower runs, the head uses an internal sensor to gauge the water's temperature and changes color depending on the reading. So anything less than 90 degrees is green, and anything over 113 degrees is red. Assuming you don't mind a little bathroom ambiance, this is perfect for avoiding a freezing shower first thing in the morning. A similar LED design can also brighten up brushing your teeth and washing your face. These faucets change color to indicate the heat of the water. Red is hot, green is warm, and blue is cold. You can buy specific faucets with the inbuilt function for around $50, and this thoughtful design saves you from a lifetime of accidentally brushing your teeth with hot water. This bookcase by Orla Reynolds Studio is able to hold your in-house library and all your dining room furniture. Hidden in the structure of the bookcase itself, what merely looks like a vibrant, funky design turns into 4 chairs and 2 tables. Hosting a party has never been easier. You've got furniture for everyone, and when the last stragglers are still left, too drunk to drive back home, you can give them the hangover comfort they need with a couch that doubles up as a bunk bed. We're literally taking things to a whole new level here, guys. The multi-purpose bed comes from Bon Bon Compact Living, but to get your hands on it, you'll need over $6,000. And just like that, your living room is now a library, a dining hall, and a mini hotel. We'll check out even more useful furniture designs in a moment, but first, here's an incredible design that we all use and take for granted. Though we've always known that holding 2 or more pieces of paperwork together can be a handy idea, as late as the 19th century, there were as many as a dozen different shaped wire contraptions competing on the market, all claiming to bind bills beautifully. But the simple, pliable paperclip unveiled by the Gem Manufacturing Company of Britain in the 1870s blew its rivals away and became the handy household item that we all know and love.
The gem consists of a single wire of steel molded around itself with 3 180-degree turns, each shaped with a curve. Its superiority to competing paperclip designs lay in its simple, cheap construction and its paper-protecting qualities.
Other early model paperclips, such as the Owl Clip, involved more complex knots of wire that could damage held-together files over time, or the Eureka Clip, which consisted of rounded, heavier chunks of metal and left papers poked and documents dented. The modern paperclip is also insanely easy to make. Just watch this slowed-down footage of its manufacturing process, and you can see that a single revolving wheel with precisely positioned blocks can bend a clip in seconds. Don't you hate it when, no matter how hard you try, you just can't get that last bit of peanut butter out of the bottom of the jar? I mean, we put a man on the moon. You'd think there'd be a solution for this by now, and there is. Just have a look at the double-ended jar. By adding a second lid to the bottom of the jar, those hard-to-reach scraps are suddenly easy to access. It's an incredibly simple solution to a problem we've had for decades. And get this, it was developed by a child. One day in 2007, 9-year-old Bella Prieto was making toast and struggling to scoop out the last remnants of peanut butter when a eureka moment occurred, and the rest is history. Whilst imitators have since claimed the idea with their own designs, it was Bella who first obtained the patent. I'm PB and jealous she came up with the idea before me. Like PB&J, salt and pepper, and me and your mom, French fries just aren't complete without a side of ketchup. So check out this French fry box with a built-in ketchup holder. The so-called Little Pocket was perfected by a Chinese team in 2017, with the product winning both a design award competition and the hearts of many fast food fans, including yours truly. By simply adding 3 flaps of paper to the box's face, the whole world can say goodbye to the problem of where to put your dip. This box of fries from Amsterdam follows a similar design, where the sauce has its own pocket on the top for easier dipping access, ensuring your fries are never left dry and lonely without their soulmate. Pizza, awesome as it is, has one glaring flaw. It's greasy as hell. And with the paper towel pizza mat, however, that won't be a problem at all. Each section of the mat is the size of a single slice, which you can just tear off without getting your hands all oily. Conceptualized by 3 South Korean designers, this paper dish could change the takeout industry for the better by taking the grease out of your pizza parties. Domino's, take notes. Picture the scene. You're making a beautifully aromatic curry, and you reach for your coriander powder to finish the paste. And as you do, you accidentally pile your measuring spoon too high and add way too much coriander to the pot. The curry is ruined, and so is your evening. But the Lavoon is an invention by the Australian design company Dream Farm, and it ensures that you'll never have to endure such trauma again. See, the Lavoon perfectly measures out your dry ingredients and scrapes off any excess. It comes with 4 different spoons in multiple sizes, and you can snap each of them apart. Sizes range from 1/4 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon, saving you from spills on the floor and ruined dinners. Waste not, want not, folks. Over in the UK, the city of Manchester has taken this mantra very seriously over the last few years. To encourage less littering, in 2023, the city council installed ballot bins along the streets, bringing lighthearted democracy to throwing away your trash. The public garbage cans come with options like Barbie or Oppenheimer, and built-in sensors track the amount of litter thrown in each hole.
They've also installed trash containers to stop people from throwing their cigarette butts on the floor, forcing locals to weigh in on debates over pineapple on pizza.
The smokers have spoken.
No. Definitely no.
These trash cans are proven to reduce littering in cities around the world by 46%, which drove Manchester Council to take action. And along the way, they somehow made it fun. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could have Superman versus Batman, Mario versus Sonic, or me versus Brad Pitt. Sorry, Brad, there's a new sex symbol on the block. Street inventions like this are an ingenious way of making our cities nicer to live in, but the jury's still out on these LED traffic poles. In some countries, these glowing poles have been installed to make sure drivers don't miss red lights at intersections. And though there have been reports of the poles malfunctioning, to me it looks like a pretty neat way of signaling to drivers without pulling their attention away from the road. Ukraine installed these lights in the city of Kiev in 2016, and they've also been adopted in other cities like Moscow, Izmir in Turkey, and Tirana in Albania. Some have noted that the poles do more harm than good, contributing to light pollution and wasting more energy. However, Saudi Arabian manufacturer Sahahid Industrial Roads Group has pointed out that the poles do reduce collisions at intersections and are better at organizing the flow of traffic than regular lights. So is the design totally necessary? Probably not, but does it look awesome? Absolutely. Another variation of this concept comes in the form of glowing LED lights for horses. Now that's what you call tail lights. These are designed to keep both rider and horse safe during the dark or during poor weather, helping prevent any rear-end collisions on the road. In fact, both US and Canadian patrol units have adopted them for night operations. Some even feature dynamic patterns or signals that indicate braking intensity or turning direction. The clever invention was created by Sammy Gross after her horse and friend were hit by a car. Seeing that standard reflective gear wasn't enough, Sammy developed these LEDs to alert drivers more effectively. Not only is it keeping everyone safe, but I'm also pretty sure any horse would feel bonita rocking these glowing tails. Personally, rain doesn't bother me. The water just runs straight off my slick, bald head. However, if you have hair and live in a rainy area, umbrellas are an everyday essential. I think we can all agree that once they're soaking wet, they're a little less convenient. Taking them down means they'll stay soggy all day, and leaving them open means they get in the way of everything. But the umbrella by Japanese designer Hiroshi Kajimoto solves these issues by working just like a regular umbrella that opens in reverse. This means its ribs act as a stand when it's down, so it can be stored easily, and the rain will drain off without any hassle. The umbrella made a splash in 2013, and if you've got the funds to spend an eye-watering $119 on a single umbrella, they're still available to purchase. If I open this reverse umbrella indoors, does that mean I get good luck instead? The umbrella was just the start of revolutionary umbrella designs, because since then, designers have gone one step further and developed an umbrella without a canopy. You know, the big bit of material that stops you from getting wet. See, the air umbrella uses an electronic system to produce a force field of air that redirects the rain and protects the user from the weather. Yeah, you heard that right. Inside is a lithium battery and a motor which powers the umbrella, taking in air underneath the cap and pushing it out the top to literally blow rain away. The magic wand lets you fight off water like an airbender, but unfortunately, the design never really got off the ground. It was initially designed by a team of postgraduate students from Nanjing University and Beijing University in 2012, and prototypes were made over the following 4 years. However, by January 2016, the team had to give up on the project after failing to receive significant funding and mass production deals. Hopefully, someone will design an upgraded version in the coming years because it's a pretty ingenious idea. And furthermore, the original designers were clearly missing a trick, because if you redirect that airflow, you could have an umbrella that fights off water and lets you fly like Mary Poppins. Today, companies are searching for ways to make their products recyclable. And some of these environmentally friendly designs are pure genius. Instead of using materials like paper, metal, or glass, this box of honey from Bee Bright is made entirely from beeswax and a wooden lid. This means that when you're finished eating all that yummy honey, you can turn it upside down and use it as a candle with a wooden base. Conceived by Maud Paquette Baula in 2014, she designed the concept as part of a student project at the University of Quebec, Montreal. She was inspired by the growing environmental impacts of packaging waste, creating a sustainable solution that gives the product a second life. Who knew a jar of honey could have such a glow-up?
Candles are a wonderful accessory to any home, but sometimes they can be expensive and barely feel like they last any time at all. But this isn't a problem for British designer Benjamin Shine, as he's redesigned a classic candlestick holder that makes candles last at least twice as long. The Rekindle has a pillar-like design, which lets the wax from the lit candle flow into a hollow holder, which has a second wick running through it. As the melted wax fills the hollow mold, it cools down and forms another candle that's ready to use, letting you restart the process up to 12 times. In 2014, pictures of the prototype went viral on social media, but unfortunately the design never got out of prototype stage, as Benjamin admitted that the regenerated candle didn't always burn properly. Damn it, I thought it was such a bright idea.
They say two heads are better than one, and in 2015, designers at KFC and Seattle's Best Coffee collaborated to give their customers in the UK a unique dining experience. To celebrate the launch of KFC's partnership with the brand, they created edible Scoffy cups that you could eat after drinking your cup of joe. They were made from a sturdy cookie wrapped in sugar paper, and the cup's interior was lined with a layer of heat-resistant white chocolate, so you could enjoy your morning caffeine injection and a little sweet treat in one tasty package. They even added scents to the edible cups, making them smell of coconut sunscreen, freshly cut grass, and wildflowers. Weird, but okay. The chocolate lining eventually melted after the hot drink was poured in, but this was all part of the design, and by the time you were finished drinking, the cookie was slightly gooey and infused with coffee. Sadly, these cups were made to promote Seattle's Best Coffee in the UK, so only had a very limited release in their British locations. And hey, speaking of Britain, let me ask you a question. Are you a coffee lover or a tea devotee? Well, whichever one takes your fancy, you can't deny how cute these little flowering tea bags are. In 2015, German tea company Semova added elegant paper flowers to the top of their tea bags, which slowly bloom when you dip them in hot water. The transformation is charming, but the design itself is just as impressive, as they cleverly matched each tea bag to the plant the tea originates from. Chamomile tea bags open up into delicate white chamomile flowers. Green tea unfolds into a tea leaf, and rooibos takes the form of a bright yellow flower, like the asphalthus plant it originates from. I definitely need to get out the fancy china for these beauties. Moving from tea time to toast time, here's a nifty little idea that'll make spreading butter a whole lot smoother. This fully recyclable butter carton called Butter Better was designed by Korean designer Yoongung Jeong, and it uses a small knife as the carton's lid. One day, Yoongung was having a picnic when he realized he forgot to bring a butter knife, so he had to use the butter carton's floppy foil lid to spread it on his toast. And he realized there must be a better way, and thus Butter Better was born. A similar design can be found on this yogurt, which gives its users instructions to turn the foil lid into a disposable spoon with a few simple folds. It ensures you never get caught without a spoon in public, and it saves you from having to wash up afterwards. Another genius way to eat without the extra cleanup comes from Wrong New Material technology. These edible utensils are made from food waste, but don't worry, it's not like you'll be eating with a spoon made of leftover scraps from the trash. They're crafted from rice flour curds, soy protein, and tapioca starch. They're sturdy enough to handle hot soup for up to an hour at over 130 degrees Fahrenheit without melting. And once you've finished your meal, you can casually snack on your utensil afterwards. Hey, not hungry? No problem. You can just compost them in your garden and let your plants enjoy their own Michelin-starred meal instead. For those with a sweet tooth like me, they sell vanilla and chocolate-flavored versions too. Never would I have thought I could be craving cutlery for dessert. Cleanup just became became the tastiest part of the meal. Nothing hits the spot like pizza on a movie night, and this design from Pizza Hut made the experience even better by turning your pizza box into a projector. They unveiled the Showtime box in 2015, and the design involved an insertable magnifying lens on one side that could project images from your phone onto the wall. Each box came with a QR code that you could scan to play a movie, and then you simply set your phone up inside the box to project the screen as you devoured your pizza. The invention hit a limited release in Hong Kong, and each box came with a different movie. A box marked with Slice Night gave you a horror movie. Anchovy Armageddon meant sci-fi. Hot and Ready was a romance, and Fully Loaded allowed you to watch an epic action movie. Wow, not only did they give you pizza and a movie, they also put an end to any arguments over what to watch. Sometimes ingenious design can hide in plain sight, and over in the UK, their coins can be combined to create a very specific image, the Royal Coat of Arms. Together, they symbolize the nations of the realm. The 3 gold lions on the top left and bottom right represent England, the lone lion on the top right represents Scotland, and the harp at the bottom left represents Northern Ireland. Then the full crest is featured on their £1 coins, giving a clear comparison. Wales is sadly left out of the crest because it was legally part of the Kingdom of England when the United Kingdom was first formed, unlike Scotland and Ireland, which had their own kingdoms. But in my opinion, that's a drastic mistake. The coat of arms would look way cooler if it contained Wales' national animal, the Welsh dragon. The motif was picked as the winner in a national coin design competition in 2008, ironically by a Welshman called Matthew Dent. I assume Matt was barred from ever entering Wales again after omitting his entire country from the coinage. A similar design can be found in Mexico, as when their coins are combined, they create a representation of the Aztec calendar. From the 1300s until 1521 AD, the Aztecs used this circular calendar to track days, months, seasons, and important events like festivals and religious ceremonies. Fast forward to modern day, and the 1, 2, 5, and 10 peso coins in Mexico contain designs that would create the full Aztec calendar when stacked in a certain sequence. Emphasis on wood, because the actual size of the coins makes the photoshopped formation impossible, as each one blocks you from seeing the pattern of the coin underneath it. That's frustrating. The design is still awesome, but the perfectionist in me wishes that the coin sizes actually match the patterns, so you could create the calendar yourself. Check out this apartment. It's tiny, but it actually has 24 rooms. Seriously, designer Gary Chang made the most of the 32 square meters he and his family share by allowing walls to slide across steel tracks and completely reformat the space. Because of this, the apartment can accommodate a full kitchen, a dining room, a spa, and even a guest room that they rent out. Chang himself calls it the domestic transformer. He's lived in the same Hong Kong apartment since he was a child, when he used to sleep on the couch. In 1988, his family moved out, and he bought the place for $45,000. He's since renovated it multiple times, gradually refining the flexible system of sliding walls, pull-out furniture, and hidden storage that lets one small, compact space become whatever his heart desires. I'm partial to some sushi, but I'm so bad at using chopsticks that I'm too embarrassed to eat it in public. Well, I can finally leave my shame behind because the Sushi Popper is an invention that allows you to gobble up as much sushi as you'd like, push-pop style. The design is the brainchild of business partners Lucas First and Evan Kay, who designed the tube to hold 8 pieces of flash-frozen sushi. If you're wondering where the soy sauce is, don't worry, they didn't leave this crucial ingredient out. The stick itself is filled with soy sauce. So you can pour it on the sushi, then use it to push the pieces out of the tube. With salmon, spicy tuna, chicken teriyaki, and vegetarian rolls on offer, the poppers are perfect for when you're on the go, and an attractive alternative for heathens like me who can't handle chopsticks. Now, like the Sushi Popper, these potato chips come in a little tube, but Bloom Chips container has a clever design that ensures you can always reach the final chips at the bottom of the can. Now, I'm looking at you, Pringles. With this remarkable design, you can simply hold the package at both ends with 2 hands and pull it to transform the tube into a bowl. This lets you share your chips with friends, and when you've gobbled them up, the bowl doubles as a flower pot. And then you can plant potatoes to achieve every person's dream, an endless supply of chips straight from your backyard. Like Pringles cans, some cookie containers are incredibly hard to deal with, and we've all experienced the heartbreak of forcing our hand toward the last cookie in the pack and watching it crumble before our eyes. Thankfully, Saikai is here to save the day. It's a Japanese packaging design product which collaborated with Mid-Sweden University to create a hexagonal cookie box that unravels easily. Swedes love their afternoon sweet treat hour, traditionally called fika, so the foldable cookie tray is perfect for their coffee and pastry break. They even have matching tea bag containers to make sure you have something to dip your cookies into. If you want to see some ingenious designs that we all use every day, look no further than the car in your driveway. Unsurprisingly, cars are a lot more complicated than they look. This video shows an automotive thermostat, which is used in an engine cooling system. The thermostat is responsible for keeping a car from dangerously overheating, and incredibly, it works by melting wax. The thermostat includes a small chamber of wax, which expands the chamber whenever it heats up and melts. The chamber is connected to a rod, which extends into the cooling system. When the thermostat expands, the rod opens a valve which then allows coolant into the system. Then, as the system cools, the wax solidifies and the chamber shrinks, pulling the rod back in to close the valve. Now, how about the humble aluminum can? First appearing in Richmond, Virginia in 1935, the aluminum beverage can has dominated the soft drink and beer market due to its incredible efficiency. It keeps our drinks cold and helps to prevent spoilage, but that's only the start. First, the cylindrical shape of the can is superbly engineered. The tall design maximizes shipping space and consumer comfort, while a handy base prevents the can from rolling off tables while sat upright. In contrast, the square or cubed can would be harder to drink from, and a spherical can would roll around like a bowling ball. Another clever, often overlooked design virtue of the aluminum can is the double seam. The tops and bottoms of early metal beverage cans were often welded or soldered onto the ends of a cylinder, which sometimes caused its contents to become contaminated. Today's aluminum can manufacturers use a cleaner and more consumer-friendly process of machine seaming, which forms an airtight seal which is then filled with a safety compound so that no gas molecules or carbonation can escape, while completely protecting a liquid inside from contaminants. Though an aluminum can's walls are very thin, a sealed can is protected from being broken or damaged easily by utilizing internal pressure, which extends equally in all directions to the surface of the aluminum. After all, the phrase "throw me another one" is not often used for glass bottles. Furthermore, the dome-shaped curvature of the bottom of a ready-for-sale aluminum can is perfect for stacking and shipping, able to withstand 90 pounds of pressure per square inch, about the weight of a normal-sized man or woman. It's crazy how much thought goes into something so simple. I almost can't believe it. Is it a shirt? Is it a plane? Well, actually, it's both. The merchandise from the airline AirAsia is a stroke of genius due to the way that it's packaged. It makes the red-winged airplane on the t-shirt look 3D by incorporating a set of cardboard wings that double as a clothes hanger. AirAsia commissioned prompt design to create the piece and then bolstered the brand's slogan, "Now everyone can fly," by literally giving a t-shirt wings and giving AirAsia's customers a free hanger for their wardrobe. Unsurprisingly, the creation won a design award when it was unveiled in 2011. And although I've never flown with AirAsia before, I'm tempted to catch a flight just to get my hands on one of these bad boys. Mechanical keyboard keys may seem simple enough. Press down, and the computer senses the pressure on a notch or something, right? Well, it's actually a little more complicated and ingenious than that. For instance, check out this illustration of the mechanism inside a mechanical key well loved by gamers, the Cherry MX. The keycap that you strike is actually attached to a big red structure, which moves when depressed so that the metal can complete a circuit. Then the computer is told, so to speak, that a key is being held down via its sensitivity to the circuit. Though there are many varieties of keyboard keys, Cherry MX red keys are popular among video gamers due to its reliability in sensing a keystroke only when fully pressed, preventing any accidental key touches, which might just save your virtual life. If you've ever argued over whether a mattress is too soft or too firm, the Mazu mattress might just save both your sleep and your relationship. Designed by Layer, this innovative mattress uses molecular tile-based system that lets you adjust firmness across different zones, meaning one side can be cloud soft while the other stays satisfyingly stiff. It's built from recyclable polymers and textiles that connect mechanically without any adhesives, making it far easier to repair, recycle, or reconfigure over time. It's as good for the planet as it is for your back. The modular design also means that the mattress can be reshaped to fit different bed frames. So if you move or upgrade your bed, your mattress doesn't become an oversized problem you can't get rid of. I just know I'd have the best night's sleep I've ever had on this wonderful mattress. When it's freezing cold outside, the last thing you want to do is remove your gloves to get some grip on a doorknob, as the designer of this one knows all too well. Creating this pattern involves a manufacturing process called knurling, and it features raised ridges or grooves to improve the grip on metal knobs and handles. This specific doorknob was found on the maintenance closet of a school, and it's designed so the custodians don't have to remove their gloves to access it. But the knurled door handles are also frequently found in colder climates, so people can pull doors open while keeping their hands warm. And watching this machine create the knurling design is just as satisfying as the doorknob itself. Nowadays, working from home is becoming increasingly common, but if you only like to work some of the time, like me, then this next invention is perfect for part-timers like us. Now, when you've had enough of responding to emails or dealing with Randy from IT, then you can simply fold the Montessori wall-mounted desk away and leave those mind-numbing tasks behind you. Out of sight, out of mind. Montessori even recommended turning it into a creative workstation for young kids, giving them a place to do their arts and crafts while keeping their bedroom tidy for once. Personally, I use my laptop for watching stupid YouTube videos and making my Sims do horrible things to each other. But Apple MacBooks are actually full of insane design features that'll blow your mind. For example, they contain smart fans that listen to you. See, when you engage a voice dictation on newer models, the speed of their internal cooling fans is automatically slowed, so the laptop's microphone can better hear your voice. Another ingenious design from Apple can be found down on your wrist. One of the smartest features of the Apple Watch is its astronomy watch face. And whilst Apple didn't go to the lengths of filming the actual planets rotating, what you see are the true positions of the planets in the solar system in real time. It shows you exactly where you are in the world at all times with a subtle glowing green dot. And you can even flip the digital crown to see where the planets and sun were aligned days, weeks, or even years in the past and future. Being keen on space, Apple has something similar to this on the Maps app. If you go into satellite mode and zoom out until you can see the entire Earth, you can watch the sun's reflection on the Earth's surface in real time. So you can watch the light travel as it really is in space in that singular moment. It's impressive how Apple connects their users to the world and galaxy we live in. Staying in space, everybody knows that for some reason, aliens love abducting cows. This modern trope originally came from a newspaper hoax in 1897, and ever since, it's become a staple in sci-fi movies, TV shows, and now milk bottles. In 2017, the Dieline Awards held a competition to design a unique packaging concept for milk, and the winners were the iMedia Creative Bureau from Kyrgyzstan. Their creation was the Molokao milk bottle, that's shaped like a tractor beam coming out of a UFO. The name is just as genius as the bottle itself, as Moloko is the Russian word for milk and the name of an intoxicating milk drink in the book/movie A Clockwork Orange. Unfortunately, this cosmic creation is just a concept, but I think iMedia should produce it for real, so I can give my cat a flying saucer of milk. Which of these ingenious designs was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see some terrible designs, well then check out my series on designers who should go to hell for their ideas. Thanks for watching.